Welcome to this episode of Perth Music Show. So we're going to do a comparison on some pedals for you. Basically what it is Marshall in a box style pedals. So we've got the four pedals. We have the Marshall Guv'nor. Now this is the Marshall Guv'nor Plus, so not the original one. I wish I could afford it, but I can't. Have the MI Audio Crunchbox, which was actually based off of the original Marshall Guv'nor. Next we have the JHS Angry Charlie. Some say is a copy of the Crunchbox. Be interesting to see how those two compare next to each other. And then just for something a little bit different, we have the Tech 21 British. Obviously British, it's a Marshall in a box. Now we're not going to say that, you know, any of these four are going to sound exactly the same, or yeah, we're just going to see basically which one we like the best. Yeah, let's see what happens. So we're running into a Fender Blues Junior, also running into a Marshall SL5/Signature Series, and running into a Vox AC15. They're all set pretty clean, mic'd with exactly the same microphones. We're running through a loop selector so that we can isolate each pedal to make sure we get the cleanest sound possible. And then yeah, we had the amp selector as well. Both the loop selector and amp selector were made by JC of Anarchy Audio, so thank you very much to him. Especially this one, I love this pedal. Yeah, cat riding a fire breathing unicorn, it just kicks ass. And then my big gay rainbow sparkly loop selector is awesome as well. Alright, I'm playing a Les Paul traditional. Adam's going to have a bit of a rap on a Epiphone SG. Bit of a mad AC/DC nut this boy is. And every time he comes over he wants to play my SGs and gets really shitty at me when I get another SG. Gets a little bit jealous, so what he doesn't realise is that he's actually holding his Christmas present. All right. So yeah. Anyways, let's. Yeah, that's enough of me crapping on. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, play a little bit, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So first up is the Marshall Guv'nor. I'm gonna go into the Marshall amp, and then we'll go from there. Alright, that doesn't sound too bad. Next up is the MI Audio Crunchbox. Alright, so automatically that one's definitely got a lot more dynamic range, or a lot more dynamics than what the Guv'nor does. Also, so I'm going to add that at the moment everything's set gain tone wise at 9 o'clock. I have tried to get them as close as I can in terms of volume unity, and we'll have a play around with that a little bit later. But yeah, next one up, Angry Charlie. Not too bad. Can definitely hear why people compare the Charlie and the Crunchbox. Certainly to my ears, they aren't exactly the same. Similar, yes. Yeah, we'll leave that argument for another day. Tech 21 British. So, yeah, I guess first thoughts, British definitely seems a lot brighter than any of the others. The Guv'nor, as I say, it definitely came across a little bit more dull, a little bit more reserved. Maybe it definitely needs a bit more tweaking on the EQs to bring it to life a little bit. So that was all of them through the Marshall amp. What I might do is just quickly run through the 3 different amps just to give you a little listen with them. So we'll start again, go through Guv'nor to the British, Fender, and then we'll go back through and do that with the Vox as well. So okay, so this is Fender Blues Junior, and this is the Guv'nor. Crunchbox. Charlie. And the Tech 21 British. Okay, now we're going to go through the Vox AC15. So Vox, and we'll back again to the Guv'nor. Crunchbox. Angry Charlie. And the British. Alright, so what I'm going to quickly do, give Adam the guitar lead. Yeah, so as I say, my thoughts are, without tweaking, sitting straight up the guts at 9 o'clock, the Crunchbox definitely sounds best to my ears. I'm very much the type of person, when I get a new pedal, first thing I do is I put everything at halfway. Halfway, try, if it sounds good at halfway, well, you know you're going to be able to tweak it a little bit this way, a little bit that way, and it's going to sound good. My thoughts are, if you get a pedal, run it at halfway, and it doesn't sound good, chances are you're going to have to spend too long trying to tweak all the different levels to try and find that sweet spot. Once you do, you bump one little knob a little bit one way and you just lose your sound completely. That's my opinion. Shoot me if you will. Yeah, pedals are an enhancement tool. You should be able to just chuck it in there, yeah, muck around with it a little bit, get a great sound, off you go. If you've got to spend too much time dicking around getting a good sound off the board, is my opinion. Anyways, what we're going to do now is I'm going to crank all 3 amps on at once. Adam's going to have a bit of a play around and I'm going to tweak some of the pedals. So yeah, here we go. So this is all 3 amps on at once, and this is the Marshall Guv'nor. So in true Marshall style, I just cranked all the tones straight up to 10, and I think it sounds a lot better. Just turned the, wait, no, that was the volume I just turned up, which is probably not a good idea. So that's the gain. We'll turn the gain all the way up as well. So that's gain, all the tone controls just dimed out. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, so yeah, definitely the Marshall, in true Marshall fashion, crank it all the way and it sounds good. So yeah, let's move on to the MI Audio Crunchbox. Just want to add as well, MI Audio is an Aussie company. I believe they're based over in Melbourne. I could be wrong, but yeah, so definitely know they're an Aussie company. I have spoken to them ages ago when I had the Blues Pro and I had an issue with it, and they were really, really helpful in helping me get the pedal fixed. So just saying, Aussie boys, Aussie company, pedal sounds kick-ass already, and yeah, really helpful. So anyways, Crunchbox. Now that's quite interesting as well. The gain doesn't sound like it's actually doing, the sweep isn't actually changing a whole lot, but one thing I find, especially with overdrive distortion pedals, or more distortion pedals, when you get under the 9 o'clock, so under halfway, they tend to lose a bit of punch. They become a little bit weak and soft. Crunchbox definitely didn't do that. That's currently sitting at, well, about 10 o'clock, and that still sounds killer. Between 10 to even 3 is that sweet spot. So that's what I mean, like, it's so easy to dial in an absolute killer sound with that pedal. Very impressed with the Crunchbox. Let's try the Angry Charlie now. Yeah, Angry Charlie's really good as well. Definitely a lot more versatile in having the 3-band EQ. This is, I believe, the version 3 or 4. So they had the original one, which was the brown one with the red knobbies, I think. And then it went to the Andy Timmons version, which, if I remember correctly, was very similar to the original, but had a 3-way toggle switch, which essentially acted like you were running through either a 25, 50 or 100 watt head, was the amount of compression that was in the pedal. Whereas this one, yeah, they've gone back, I guess, to a little bit more of a traditional style in having, as I say, 3-band EQ, volume gain. Yeah, all right, sounded pretty good. Definitely for my ears, it's between the Crunchbox and the Angry Charlie. They're definitely two very similar sounding pedals. Anyways, let's get to the British. Now, I need to remember not to touch the level on this one because we're sitting at like under 9 o'clock here, about 8:30. I reckon if I turn that anymore, I'm going to flip and either rip our heads off or blow my speakers, but we'll see. So here we go. This is the Tech 21 British. Okay, so one of the things with the British is that it has this character knob, which I guess is probably kind of a bit like a presence control, which I ought to add to. From what I remember, the Crunchboxes actually have some internal trim pots, and I believe presence is one of them. I haven't touched that at all. So that's basically wherever it's been set previously. I actually bought this one secondhand. So whoever had it before me, or the last person to dick around with the internal trims, that's where it's at. I don't even know where it's set at, but that character knob is really cool. One of the things I guess I'm noticing about the British is, out of all of them, this one seems to be the most tweakable. So if you're the type of person who does like playing around with the knobs and trying to find a bit more of a unique sound for yourself, this is definitely the one to go for. It's the one where the knobs actually made the biggest difference when moving them. So yeah, Adam's been very quiet. What are your thoughts, Adam? Which is the one that you sort of prefer the most?
All right. Well, British is very bright when we had it just at halfway for everything, but we were able to tweak it to make it sound real good. Yep. Also, I'm going on your side with this one. I really do like the Crunchbox over the Angry Charlie. Yep. And the Guv'nor, not really big on that one because it's just doesn't have as much movement in it as I'd like. Yep. And the Angry Charlie is just cool by itself. Okay. I guess that's it, isn't it? They're four pedals that are similar in a lot of respects, but then completely different in others. So each to their own. Both Adam and myself tend to like the Crunchbox. The Angry Charlie, there was so much hype about those, and I got it and I loved it when I first got it, but I just seemed to fall out of love with it pretty quickly. Crunchbox I had a long time ago.
got one again, and look, as I say, if I've got to make a decision, the one, it's going to be the Crunchbox. So yeah, that said, I think it's probably perfect time to wrap it up. So what we might do is bugger it, let's chuck all 4 of them on at once and see what happens. We might even chuck a bit of reverb and see if we can really mess things up a bit. So yeah, thanks to everyone for checking it out. Hopefully plenty more vids to come from where this one has come from, and yeah, we'll try and get a little bit better of it as we go along. But yeah, always looking for positive feedback. Well, always looking for feedback, positive or negative. If you think we're complete dicks, well, you know, feel free to say so. I don't really give a shit anyways. So yeah, let us know what you think. Let us know what you'd like to see next. So do you want just straight up pedal reviews? Do you want more of the comparison type vids? Whatever. Anyways, enough of us. I've been Scott. That's been Adam. Yeah, let's turn all 4 of them on and see what happens. And cut.